All right, Bob, what were your thoughts on the Cleveland series?
There weren't a lot of good thoughts. It did not go the way we had hoped. You wanted a series win. Not a surprise they lost. Cleveland is a really good team. I mean, and that's not to excuse what the Mariners didn't do well, but that is a good team. They beat you here in the second series of the season. They did it again. That's a tough lineup to navigate. The fact that they lost the third game, they lost. The second game's the one that bothered me. They weren't competitive. You had 3 total hits, you had 14 strikeouts, and obviously you were held scoreless and got your butt kicked. So if you're going to lose, I'd like to see them in the game. The other team beats them, they beat them. That's baseball. But man, when you don't compete like that was frustrating.
What hitter do you trust the most on this Mariners lineup?
With the game on the line, you need a hit.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, Cal, you look at his numbers, his average is terrible, his on base is not good, yet he's just got a knack for coming up with that hit in the biggest moment. Man, it would be him, maybe Rojas, just in terms of making contact and putting the ball in play when you really need it. Yeah, it might be one of those two guys. Unfortunately, it's not Julio right now, but yeah, him, and maybe you throw JP in there as well. He's always putting up a good at-bat, so it'll be one of those 3.
Our weekly favorite question, who's the best pitcher on the Mariners right now?
Well, it's not Castillo after yesterday, and it's not Bryce Miller after his outing. Logan Gilbert. I mean, Brian Wu came out, finally had a bad game, maybe some discomfort. I'm not really sure physically where he was at, but he wasn't what we had seen since he'd come back from injury. Again, Bryce Miller, Castillo both had rough outings. Kirby was decent. It's Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert's coming off a gem. 8 innings, no runs, no walks, 9 strikeouts. So I'll go with Logan Gilbert right now.
All right, what do you need to see over the next week of games from the Mariners?
I need to see some consistent offense. I'm giving you the same answer we give you every week because it's the same problem every week. You'll get a game where they put up runs and you feel like, wow, did they get it figured out? Maybe they're getting over the hump. And then the next game, they do nothing. They score no runs. They come up with 3 hits and they strike out 14 times. So you can't ever look at one game of production and go, okay, I think they got it. I think they've got it figured out. They've shown they haven't. So they've got to find a way to manufacture runs. And I'd love to see them play some more small ball. I would love to see them do that. You got guys who can do it. You've got Luke Raley who can drop a bunt down really well. Ryan Bliss can drop a bunt. Victor Robles can drop a bunt. So you got guys who are much more adept at either bunting for a base hit or bunting to move that runner along and put them in scoring position. You got to manufacture runs. I mean, that's the bottom line. When you can't rely on hitting the ball out of the park every game, because as we've seen, that's not always reasonable. That's not always going to happen. So yeah, get the offense cooking in any way you need to. And if that means you're playing small ball, moving guys along by dropping bunts, do that.